The SQL query data source allows you to easily craft parameterized queries. We'll start in the data panel. I already have one created here. And the way it works is we can just start typing in here, and then put a question mark anywhere within our query. Once we do that, you see this little parameters area opens up. From here we can write an expression, we can add one of our parameters that we've already added to our report, or we can just do a straight tag binding. And you can add as many parameters as you'd like. And just to help keep things straight, if you click on one and you're editing one, you'll see that whatever question mark relates to that parameter is highlighted in blue. It's important to note that these run as prepared statements, so they're more resistant to SQL injection attacks. Now this type of data source also features the query builder. We'll go ahead and clear this out. And if you look to the right hand side, you'll see there's Show Query Builder, or the Show Builder button. First, what you need to do is come down here to the drop down and select whatever type of database you're using. If you don't see yours here, you're not too certain, you can always just use the universal. I'll click on MySQL since I know I'm using MySQL, and I'll click on Show Builder. The interface has changed quite a bit. You'll see some database tables over here. These are all the database tables listed in the selected database connection my data source is using. So I can just double click on one of them, and you'll see this new table appears up here. Each checkbox here represents a column on the table, save for the top one, which is Select All. You can check whichever columns you'd like to return, so I'm just going to go ahead and select all of them. You'll see down below I have a query that's set. We can click on Apply, and that's really it. But there are a lot more configurations we can make. So we'll click the Show Builder button again. You'll see my queries back up here. Now for every column I select up top here, you'll see there's a new row entered down below. On the left-hand side of this table, you'll see this sideways arrow icon. If we click on it, we expand some options available to these rows. And from here we can remove certain rows, we can reorder them, we can add a new row in between, and change this up however we like. Let me go ahead and click this just to minimize this section. And we'll add a couple more rows here. Look at this first column here, you'll see we have an expression. We can click here and just change whatever column we're selecting. Move over, we add an aggregate, so average, count, max, standard deviation, so on. We can give our columns an alias, so our alias, see it appears down below. You can specify a sort type, whether you want ascending or descending, or in what order. You can apply grouping to all the rows or just some of them, and then there's some criteria for grouping that's listed over here. Additionally, if you come up top and you right-click on some of this white space here, you can add an object. An object can be any of your tables, which we see over here on the side, but you can also add any views or stored procedures you have. We'll close this and we'll clean up our space a little bit too. Now I can very easily do joins as well, so I'll drag my equipment details table and my equipment downtime report table. There we go. And I want to get the name, the location from this table. I'm going to do the cause and duration, and I want to join from equipment ID to ID on my equipment details. So I'll click, drag from equipment ID to ID on the equipment details table, let go. See there's this little line between the two. Now if you want to get rid of this join, you can just right click on it and select remove. But if we take a look down below, we see it has a query already for us, so we'll click apply. Now we could drop a table down in our report, but since this is just a query we're working with here, we'll just copy this, open up, go into Tools in the Designer, go to the Database Query Browser, paste this in, execute it, and there's all my data. As you can see, the Query Builder is a powerful tool, and it's only available with the SQL Query data source.